Do you ever meet someone and think, wait, you do what? Well, that's what this podcast is all about. I'm Dana, and on Dishin with Dana, we talk to people doing cool stuff, chasing what they love, and making life a little more flavorful. No pressure, just a good convo. Let's rock. Welcome, Zach Duke. Finally, we got to meet, I guess virtually. So this
That's right.
is not my usual studio setup. It's my living room. But I wanted to talk to you because I've been following you on Instagram for so long, and yeah, you're just doing incredible things. And like we just talked about shortly before starting this, my boyfriend's a soccer fan. So obviously I was like, well, I need to talk to you.
Absolutely. Well, so glad that you reached out and really pumped to be on the podcast too.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, I mean, let's just jump right into it. I mean, I know you as the World Cup dad, right? And I guess that's the end all be all goal, right?
It is, yeah.
So give me a little bit about yourself, where this all came from. Like, how did World Cup dad come to life?
Yeah. I mean, never in 1,000 years was playing soccer even remotely on my bingo card. It never crossed my mind. I never played growing up. I played basketball, American football, track and field growing up, but I never played soccer besides like when I was like 4 or 5 years old for like when I was still picking the grass type of things and sitting on the field. So I don't count that because that's just herd ball at that time. But yeah, it all came down to this moment. There's a longer story. I'll share the shorter story of it. But I had just this string of years where I really just hit rock bottom from a health perspective, a mental perspective, just a season of life, and was just going through battling a lot of doubts and fears and depression, and then stringing on to that a bunch of bad habits. So it was this cycle, repetitive cycle, and I was sitting in a coffee shop one day at the end of 2022, kind of having a reflective moment going into a new year. And I was just done. And so this podcast just hit me at the perfect time I was listening to. And it was this super strong charge to specifically fathers of like, where are the dads that are willing to break away from the status quo, willing to dare again, to risk again, to push themselves to their limits for their kids, for their wives, for their family, for their future generations. Like, what foundation are we laying? And I'm listening to this charge, and I'm like, man, I am not this husband. I am not this dad. I'm not this person, but everything that I'm hearing, this is who I want to become. And so I realized I probably wouldn't ever have this strong of a call again. And so if I got up that day from that chair in that coffee shop, I would never change. It would be too late. And I believed that lie. I believed the lie that it was too late to change. And so I just prayed a dangerous prayer. I'm a person of faith, and I just prayed, I'm like, Lord, do not let me move from this chair until you bring that fire back into my heart again. I never would have guessed he would have bubbled up soccer to the forefront of being that thing. And that's many reasons why, but I'll give you a few reasons why. I really did want something that I had never done before. I wanted something that would be fun to step into, something I would be passionate about training, seeing progress, seeing improvement, something that would be measurable, something that I could really challenge myself in. I needed a challenge. And then on top of that, I was traveling to different countries around the world using soccer as a tool for leadership development, literally that next month. Even though I didn't play, it's just the best tool in the world for relationships, for access, for impact in communities. And so I realized, man, okay, this is a universal language. Soccer is everywhere in the world. World Cup's coming here in 2026, Copa America, Club World Cup, Olympics, right? All in this like 4-year period, which is unprecedented. And so I realized, man, this is my opportunity to press into something that's going to be on the forefront of everybody's minds for 4 or 5 years and is scaling significantly. And it's something I can push myself in. And so that in that moment, like this resolve, this fire literally came into me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to push myself to see how far I can go in soccer. So the ultimate goal is obviously the World Cup. Is it crazy? Is it delusional? I feel like anybody that wants to do anything significant needs to have a crazy delusional goal. Like if your goal doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. And so even if you don't make it, like to lose the fear of failure and to see how far you can grow in a skill and expertise is worth that journey. And so from the very beginning, I told myself it's not going to be about making it or not making it. It's going to be about the journey. It's going to be about the progress. It's going to be about the person I'm becoming. So really, there's goal A and there's goal B. And I would say goal B is actually bigger than goal A. Goal A is to make the World Cup or see how far I can go. Goal B, which is the reason why I started in the first point, is the man I'm going to become, the legacy I'm going to leave, the husband, father, generationally, like my character, everything is the real story that I'm after. And so that's why I know it's going to go so much farther on besides the World Cup. So long answer to the start of the story, but that's kind of how it came about in the beginning.
No, that's why I'm here. So,
Yep.
I mean, I love all of that because honestly, like that's why I started this podcast. I've been wanting to do it for years. I quit my job last November, my full-time job, the safety net, everything like that. I just
Wow.
been left it because I wasn't happy anymore,
Mm.
And that was a goal of mine for so long. So, I mean, I totally feel that, and I totally understand where you're coming from because I've gotten interviewed because I'm trying to restore a diner in my town.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, and people are like, "You're crazy!" Like, I don't have the money, I don't have the experience, I don't know. Like, I've worked in food before, but that's it. And
Hmm.
people are like, "Well, how are you going to do that?" I'm like, delusion. So when you said delusional, I was like, I feel that.
Yep. At first, I strayed away when people would say I'm delusional, all this, and of course they mean it in a negative connotation. But I've embraced it now because I'm like, yeah, I do think differently than what the norm of society
Yeah.
wants me to think, and that's a good thing when
hmm
it's directed in the right position. And so I don't think it's all bad if you're doing it for the right reasons.
I take it as a compliment, honestly. You're
100%.
crazy. I'm like, thank you.
Yep. Thank
I
you.
am.
If someone just came to me and said, "Wow, you're so normal. Way to go and staying in the lines. You're
Or
boxed just like society. You are fitting it perfectly." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm doing something
yeah,
wrong."
there's something wrong with me right
Moving. Yep.
now.
Yep.
So like, so what did you do prior to soccer and all this? Like, what was your before World Cup dad? Like, what job were you working, or like, what's the schedule? What was going on?
Yeah. Great question. And like, what's crazy and it's hard for people to believe this. I've actually kept my full-time job this whole time.
That's
And
awesome.
so I've would I like to do this full time? I actually would. Like I'm not to a place from a monetization where we're able to do that as a family. I got 5 kids and a wife, so it's harder just to step away and go after that. So I've had to build out my schedule in a way that honors my job, honors my family, and allows time to train, which I think is really the secret sauce of what I've done. Is like I'll show you here. I know if it's audio only, you won't be able to see this, but what I'm showing on the
That's video
screen.
too.
Okay, perfect. So this is a habit tracker. So this is
Howdy.
one I haven't started to fill out yet, but this is something I fill out every day,
hmm
and I'll just tell you what some of the things on there, like what time I go to bed, what time I wake up, how much I weigh every morning.
Wow.
Did I do my morning routine? Did I do my skills training? Did I do my weight training and mobility training? Then I have a section called Data Up. Did I show up for my kids and family today? And I have a section called Learn. Did I take time to learn something new for at least 10 minutes to sharpen my skills? And then like, did I have any cheat meals or cheat drinks? And so I'm tracking, those are my micro daily goals. And that I just believed, in reverse engineering. If I do these simple things every day, the compound gains will truly be exponential. And thankfully that's turned out to be true. So my job beforehand, and even still now, I work for an amazing team called Big Life, which is a disciple-making ministry. And so like,
Oh
we'll
wow.
go in states across America, countries across the world, and raise up leaders among nationals who bring community transformation, who are spreading the message of Jesus. And so that's my real passion, is everything I do filters through that lens of ministry and for the kingdom of God. So soccer is really the same thing for me. It's a way to have relationships, to share my story very, very simply, and to hear other people's story and to have the greatest impact that I can. And so I've been able to do it. The way I've kind of orchestrated my schedule is I'll go to bed like at 8 p.m. every night, put my kids down 7:45 during the school year, go to bed at 8. I make coffee the night before and I heat it up in the morning. And so I'll wake up at 4. I'll wake up at 4. I'll spend an hour in prayer and meditation and just time with the Lord. And then I'll go and train for 2.5, 3 hours and be back before my kids go to school. So I'll get to be with them, send them off. And then even still, it's like 8:45 then. And so from 9 till noon, I have my work day. Then I lift over the lunch break. And then from like 1:30 or 2 to 5 or 5:30, I'll finish my work hours. So I can set my own schedule. So I set everything within those parameters. And then 5:30 until 8 is just family time.
So you work from home then, right?
I work from home or really from anywhere. And I've been able to do that, which is a huge blessing and privilege for about 4 or 5 years completely. I've been able to do that. So like well before the World Cup dad journey, this is what I've been doing for quite some time.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I work from home as well, doing like little odd end jobs and smaller jobs too. And so it definitely helps when you're trying to do something crazy like this. What did your colleagues say when you're like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing? Did they
Yeah.
say, yeah, go for it?
It's it's been a mixed response and a varied response over the duration too. I'll say by and large, most people have been very, very encouraging and cheering me on and very supportive. Others, I think, would be more so like, you're crazy. You realize this is stupid and impossible. Others are even, some people I know really well aren't for it and they don't like it. And, I've really come to see that every vantage point and framework, they have reason and rationale behind why they believe what they believe. So I do my best to not, judge back what's being judged towards me, both good or bad.
Yeah, the projection, really.
Yeah, for sure. And so, and it's not that I haven't battled that, because I definitely have, but it's definitely been a mixed response. But by and large, specifically the people who are mentors, people that I'm accountable to in life, people who are my bosses, people that I work with, and people that I really, really respect, like that I want to imitate and become later on in life, are the most supportive of it. So that's mean the most for me. Like the people I really look up to and really try to model my life after are the most for it. And so that's been massively, massively encouraging. My wife and kids, they're like, Megan, my wife, is the biggest champion behind what I'm doing. There's 0% chance I could have done this and kept going if she wasn't fully at my side. So she's been the biggest champion. So yeah, it's been a mixed response, and kind of my attitude from the beginning, I've tried to continue to grow in that till now, is realizing that not everybody's going to get the full context and motive of what I'm doing. I don't have the benefit of sitting down face to face with everybody. Yeah. And so I just have to do my best to meet people where they are, bless them when they aren't for it, and show kindness, because life is tough for everybody. Everybody's going through stuff and crap. And so if I can be 1 ounce of brightness in their day and kindness and responding kindly to even negative things, I'm happy to take the hits. They don't bother me.
Did you think you were going to blow up this big? Because I feel like
No.
when you started, probably you were just like, oh, I'm going to try this thing. And
I had no idea. I really didn't. And what's still so strange, like I see a lot of soccer influencers and things on Instagram, and I don't even consider myself in that category. Like that was never my intention. That's not what I'm trying to do. Like genuinely from the beginning, I'm just like, I need to put this on social media, or else I can quit in silence and no one will know I started.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I had to make this delusion public so I couldn't quit.
Yeah.
Like that was my whole intention. Like, I'm going to document how much I suck, how hard this is. I never, like, if you would have told me all that has happened from then until now when I started, I don't know if I would have believed you.
Yeah.
It's just been so wild. The favor on it has been so crazy. And then on top of that, feeling better than I've ever felt. I'm 37 years old now, and I feel like I'm 22 from energy, mental clarity, strength, speed, stamina, agility. Like, it makes no sense. It blows my mind. So yeah, all that to say, it's been mixed response. And so I've told myself from the beginning that I can't live by people's praises and I can't die by their criticism. I have to just stay focused on on my journey, my purpose, my mission, and leave the results to the Lord.
And talking about that a little bit more, I know you kind of just answered what I was going to ask, but for those who are doubting you, or for those who I know have said that you're a liar, you definitely played soccer before, or things like
Yeah,
that. What do
which
you?
is such a big compliment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. It's like, well, thank you.
Yep.
What would you say to those type of people that are saying those things, that you're obviously lying and you're just doing this for fame?
Yeah, I mean, a few things come to mind. The first is thank you. Like the people that say like I take steroids or I'm using AI
Oh my
or I'm lying and I've played before. Like, could not be bigger compliments. Like, thank you so much, because that just encourages me that the work I'm putting in really, really matters. Like I've only my whole life, I've never taken any illegal substance my whole life. Both recreation or performance. Like that's just not who I am.
goodness.
And because I've had such bad gut health in the past, my body will reject anything artificial. Like I have to eat really, really
I'm the
clean to even
same
feel
way.
good.
Yep.
So first, like that's actually encouraging. Um, I would say that the second thing is, and this isn't my quote. I don't know who said it, but I've heard it a lot, and I love it. Um, that my belief has to be bigger than their doubts.
Okay.
And that has been really big. Like if doubts are this big, then my belief has to be up here. And so always rising my level of belief in not only what I'm doing, but why I'm doing it. And then just to speak, just to speak to people that would bring any type of hate or opposition. um, I know this sounds crazy, but I actually pray for them.
Hmm.
I pray that they would be blessed. I pray that any wounds or past expectations that have been hurt in their life can be restored, that they can find belonging and acceptance, and for me to not take it personally. And I know that so many people have given their life to soccer and they did not realize their dreams. And so I realize that when some people watch my journey, they don't want to see me win because it's projected invalidation to their journey and to their progress.
Hmm.
And even though I don't agree with that, I see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And so what I can say is like, hey, I'm not comparing my journey to anyone else's. My successes
Everyone's
or
different.
failures,
Yeah.
aren't to be projected onto others. We all have our own unique stories. We all have our own unique journeys. And so, there's even a verse in Scripture that says, "Those who compare themselves amongst each other are not wise."
Mm.
And I think there's just so much wisdom in that of like, stay focused in your lane and your story. Don't start comparing your story to someone else's, because when you do, that's when resentment, that's when bitterness, that's where misunderstanding can come in. And so here's where I've landed. If anyone is willing to put together a goal, no matter how delusional and crazy, if you're willing to put in the work to do it, I've got your back. I'll cheer for
Yeah.
you. And so I think anyone has the freedom to dream and to put the work behind that dream. And I think we need to champion that instead of trying to antagonize it and want to see people fail. Like I don't understand that mindset of wanting to see anyone fail. That's never really made sense to me.
Yeah.
So
Imagine if we were just all nice to each other.
yeah. I mean,
Like where we could all
it's
go.
yeah. I mean, it's a scarcity mindset, and if we have an abundance mindset, then we realize that there's room for all of us to win. There's room for all of us to grow. There's room for all of us to have a seat at the table,
Hmm.
and so I want to champion that best I can. And again, like I'm as flawed and cooked as a person as it comes. Like we're all broken.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put it out there like I'm doing anything better than anyone else. I don't feel that way or think that way. But I do absolutely want to see, okay, am I growing from where I was yesterday? And just
Hmm.
staying focused on that.
I love that because going off of that, where people are like championing each other and stuff, I recently just on a whim started modeling, right? And I
Yeah, awesome.
never did it in my life. I don't know where it's going or whatever.
Yep.
But when you're in a professional modeling area with all these other models, you assume that they're going to be catty and, not nice to you. And I've had my fair share of that, but I was
Yeah.
surprised with how many people were actually like uplifting and
Oh,
motivating.
that's so great.
And yeah, and like in my thought with that or with anything that I do, even with podcasts, because podcasts are so oversaturated now. There's room for everybody. And
Yep.
I think like I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm just trying to do what makes me happy and whatever I can do to share happiness and
Yeah.
motivation to
Totally.
others.
Totally.
And so going off of that, like what would your recipe for success be at this point? What would you say is the thing? I mean, obviously you showed me that schedule, which is insane. I need to get on that level.
Well, I've got a free copy. Like when people message me, I just send them like a copy where they can edit it for their own
Oh,
goals. So
wow.
I'm happy to give that to anybody. It's just a simple, Excel Google sheet. So
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll take one.
let's
I
go.
mean, I think it's important too with that as well. It's not about the big goals, right? It's about the little ones that add up
That's
to
right.
making
That's right.
you a better person. So those little habits every day, whether it is just waking up 30 minutes earlier or reading 10 pages of a book. That's like things that I'm working on because I'm just trying to get more structure in my life working from home all the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, going off of that, like what would you say now is like your recipe for success? Like what do you think is helping
Yeah.
you the most?
Like for me personally, or what I would like advocate for just others.
Either or, maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, okay, I'll start like with where I'm at now because, journeys aren't linear, right? There's
Yeah.
mountains and there's valleys and so like where I'm at right now in this journey is actually the farther you go, the harder it gets. The
Hmm.
harder mentally, the harder emotionally, the harder it is to persevere, the opposition gets louder, the pain gets harder. And so like I've been saying this so much, but if you don't quit, you win.
Mm.
And it's just true, like just keep going, keep plotting every single day. And so I have to remind myself every single day of just keep making these choices, just keep going. Are you like I'm not feeling as much breakthrough now as I did in earlier stages. So
Hmm.
should I just quit? Should I just stop? Like no, like how can I keep finding those edges and advantages? And so it's been the hardest this season by far to keep pressing hard. And so that's the first thing is like the little things matter. Continue to do the little things that help you see those breakthroughs and to trust the process that if you keep doing those, that those breakthrough moments and growth moments will happen. If
Hmm.
we're only always chasing the top of the mountain, that's when you get burnt out. That's when you get toasted so quick. But if you just look at the one little rep in front of you, the one little next thing to do, and then just keep doing that, keep chipping away, that's how I can mentally stay strong on just like, okay, just one more day. Okay, I'm not going to think 2 days from now, just one more day. And that mentality has been so huge because the moment you think like, man, I got to do this for another year, 2 years, 3 years, that can be overwhelming. So
Hmm.
just one more day. And what I would advocate for other people, because this is really universal, no matter what your goal is, your business is, your dream is, you have to really get down to your purpose first. If you're not purpose driven, and if you're goal driven over purpose driven, that will lead you to a certain point, and you can see success with that. Like I'm not saying that won't bring success; it absolutely can. But if you want sustainability with that success, where the whole person is thriving and not just one or a couple areas of your life, then building out and digging deep into that purpose of why you're doing what you're doing, those will carry you through the hard days. Those will carry you through the days when you have no motivation. Those will carry you through the days when you're emotionally down of like, okay, why am I doing this again?
Hmm.
And then going back to what you said, focusing heavily on the micro goals and not the macro goal. Have the macro goal, like have your North Star, here's what I'm shooting for, but let your daily operational focus be on those micro goals and incremental growth that you can work on. That's where the magic is.
That's awesome. I mean, so what is like, I obviously your wife is a huge supporter of you. What did your kids think when all of this started happening and they see you blowing up?
They only understand it to a certain point, right? Like my kids are 11, 9, 7 as of this week, 4 and 1. So
Wow.
really only the older ones have a better idea of what's going on. But
Mhm.
it honestly makes me emotional to think about how much they're behind it. The way that we really make decisions as a family, not every decision, but the big decisions, we come together as a family, we talk about them together, we lay everything out on the table, and we pray. Like a practice that we do as a family is not just talking to God, but listening to him. And it's like I'd have my kids go to different parts of the room. We would pray, listen, and we would come back. I'll share a specific example. Like I had this opportunity to go play professional indoor soccer in LA for 5 months, which meant me being away for 5 months. So again, on paper, like, wow, you're a bad dad. You're leaving your family. I thought you were for your kids. Aren't you World Cup dad? You're more like World Cup dud, all these projections without asking the questions. What did your family think? How did you come to these decisions? What do they want you to do? And 100% unanimous, without my input, without my twisting of the arms, my wife was like, you need to go do this. And all of my kids, 100%, is like, Dad, we know this is going to be hard, but you have to do this. We're cheering for you. We've got your back. And like at the kitchen table, I just broke down in tears. Like this is unbelievable. And so if they told me to not go, I can say with pure confidence I would not have.
Yeah.
We have a family motto: as family we go. So this isn't Zach's family. This isn't my life. Like we're Team Duke, and we're doing this together. And so that's been a huge rock in my life is making sure that my family's healthy. We're making decisions together. We're on the same page, and making sure that they truly are the priority in my life. And they would all say without any question that they've been blessed by this journey.
Do they ever play soccer with you, like when you're home?
Every day. Yeah. So
are they starting to like it?
they're going to be way better than me.
Yeah, right.
Genuinely, like my kids, early. Like they love the game. They're playing for an incredible club called Impact City, where one of my friends leads here locally, and so they're playing travel soccer. But yeah, we have dinner as a family every night at 5:30. That's like our staple anchor time that we do. But then after dinner, most nights we'll go in our backyard and have those little tiny goals, and it'll be me and my son versus my 2 daughters, and we'll just play, and so. That's just a time for us to connect. So soccer has been a way for us to even just deepen our relationships with one another, to play together and to laugh together. And so there's been 2 times when it's really hit me how much this journey is impacting them. One is my son, Judah, who is turning 7 this week. He came to my wife one day and he said, hey Mom, like, I just wrote out my routine. Here's going to be my routine and schedule every day. And he had when he was waking up and training, he's going to be, reading the Bible when he does his schoolwork. We didn't tell him to do that. He just like, this is just human nature. We mimic and imitate people we look up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so like what I'm doing and what I model is way more important than what I say, and for better or for worse. Right. And so getting to see him do that has been huge. And then just seeing my kids love learning, love challenges, love pushing themselves, I know is a direct result from seeing Megan and I both continuing to push ourselves and to grow and to be curious and to learn. And so all of that rolls downhill to our kids. And so it's been cool to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, it matters because they always say, like, the circle of friends that you have or whatever your circle is where you're going to kind of go, right?
Yep,
That's like, it just kind of is the writing on the wall, basically.
That's right.
So that's amazing that you're being that role model for your kids at such a young age. And who knows, maybe they'll grow up and be a bunch of soccer pros. You basically raised a team.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that would be so fun. And there was a lot of pressure on me growing up as an athlete to achieve and to do well. So I had to overcome playing with fear and learning to not do that. And so I didn't want to swing the pendulum too far, but what I'm really trying to develop in my kids is the love for the game.
Yeah.
And what's been fun is as they've developed this love, without me pushing them, they're training, they're practicing, they're wanting to push themselves, not because it makes Dad happy, but because they love it and they enjoy it. And so I think we need to be very intentional and cautious to making sure we're not just teaching the what of the sports to the next generation, but also teaching the love of it in the right context. And so that they're not trying to become people pleasers or full of fear and full of pressure, but playing freely, not being afraid to make mistakes, and so we're trying to cultivate those attitudes in our kids too.
That's amazing. So, I mean, going off of soccer now, you play as striker?
Yep,
That's
yep.
the main position that you're
Yeah,
playing?
play striker, and so like on the indoor team, it's called the target position, but that's essentially the striker position as well.
So, I mean, striker is like, I feel like a pretty big position to play right off the bat, right? Like, I mean, I played soccer for many, many years in like grammar school, well, kind of high school, but mainly
Yep.
grammar school. But I never got to the point where I was like always offense or something. I was like defense or goalie. And I feel like when you're starting out or if you're not that good, they're like, we'll put you back here. Like you can block the ball, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like, I mean, how did that like
yeah.
you're obviously good.
My thought process. I'll just walk you through it a little bit, and it's not like this was a perfect thought process, but it was kind of how I thought about it. I realized, okay, my window of growth is short. So
Hmm.
it's not that I'm picking the easiest positions because none of the positions are easiest, but which one requires the least amount of versatile skills. So like if I'm playing in midfield, I need to be able to do everything,
Yeah.
right? Like I have to control the game, have the best decisions, short passes, long passes, all types of skill. Same thing with wingers. Just the amount of skill you have to have. Striker, obviously, you have to be especially good ones. You have to be exceptional at finishing, exceptional at your first touch, your quick decision making. And so for that, I realized, okay, even though it's just as hard as the other positions, I'll have to master less skills to do it. I just have to be really, really good at those skills. So it came down between like striker and right back, which I think would require the least amount of various skills in the shortest amount of time possible. And so that's why I really focused on that defense and that striker. Plus, just for my body type, I'm very strong. I grew up in the weight room with football. Especially for my size, like I'm very naturally strong and I'm very quick and very fast, way faster than what people realize probably, especially my agility, even
Hmm.
at my age. And I played slot receiver my whole life, or at least high school and college and football. And so I'm well trained in understanding space and how to get open and seeing visually where the space is comes natural for me. So that also very much plays into a finishing striker position. And so that's kind of my thoughts that went into it. And then I realized, hey, I'm never going to be like a Leo Messi finisher or, just these unbelievable, very technical shots. I realized that I'm going to get most of my goals from just making really good runs, being in the right place, and having good placement on the net. And so with my short amount of time, I'm focused on the simplicity of the game rather
Yeah.
than the flair and the super skills of the game. Like how can I play very simple, very smart, and very intentional? And so that's kind of how I focused my game.
I mean, that's actually that makes sense because, people probably think, okay, you have to learn all these things and do all these certain things, but if you're just targeting one area of the sport, probably, then I guess that's more beneficial.
Yep.
And also you said like, especially for my age, slow your roll because I feel like you're 37, you're not old, and I mean I'm
Yep.
33. Sorry, my
Yep.
cat's also here. He just likes to get in the way. I'm 33, but I've noticed that when I talk to people, the 30s are like the decade of like rediscovering or discovering like who you truly are as a person. And then I
Yeah.
think like from who I've talked to in the past when they say like the 40s are like when you're in it and you're fully confident as yourself now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're in like like when we're younger, we think 30s are old, and I
Right.
still feel
Yeah.
like
I
I'm
did
like
too.
15.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know,
I don't feel old, from
yeah.
any sense of the word, and I think that's one of those status quos that need broken. Like
Hmm.
I've been talking to people who are in their 60s and 70s and still are in like crazy elite shape, 6%, 7% body fat,
I literally
and
work out with an 80-year-old at
yeah,
CrossFit.
Yeah, it's choices of like again like
Yeah.
my goal like it's not just World Cup. I want to be the most fit great grandpa when I'm 80 years old.
Heck
Like so
yeah.
I'm thinking long term in how I'm building my body and sustainability. So 37 is not old, but to the soccer world, people are like yeah you retire at 33. I'm like okay
Yeah.
let's shatter that paradigm too. Like
Yeah.
what other paradigms of status quos need broken? Because my least favorite line in the history of lines is, well, it's just the way that it is, or this is how it always is going to be. I'm like, I don't buy that. I think that's a load of garbage, and we should never, towards anything, have that mindset.
Yeah. I agree. 100% agree because I think it's just, we look at that stuff and we're just like, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. There's so much, it's limiting us, when we think that way. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's better that we just break the mold for those
yeah,
types of things and age and
absolutely.
everything.
And one thought too, like I think one of the healthiest things we can do, and this probably goes against most self-help stuff, is to actually not think about yourself.
Mm,
And I think the best way to grow is to actually go help and serve other people. And
mhm.
so one thing I'm thinking about is like I realize that there's so many soccer players that are and will be better than me. That actually excites me. I'm not trying to make my story great. I'm not. If I can be an ounce of breakthrough for people who have given up in their life or they've been lied to that it's too late for them in soccer or other dreams, like, well, I'm 15. I've gotten hundreds and hundreds of messages from teenagers saying that their coaches or people or parents have said it's too late for me.
Yeah.
And so if I can be just an ounce of like, wait, if he can do it at 37 and has gone as far as he has, then I've still got time, and just the mentality in life. So that's my hope is like I want to be if I can take the hits for other people so that they can have breakthrough, I'm happy to do it.
I wish I had the motivation that I have now to do everything when I was a teenager because
Agree.
as a
I agree.
case, I'd be so well off right now.
Yep. I've thought about that too many times.
Right?
Hmm.
Ay, ay, ay. It must come with age, I guess, wisdom, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, we are running out of time. You probably got to like play soccer and do incredible things right now. So I'm not going to take too much more of your time, but I wanted to do a quick round of fun little questions because it wouldn't be dishing with Dana if I didn't first ask you what your favorite dish of all time is.
Oh, such a good question. Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind, so I live on a beef farm, our family's farmers, and so I would say a nice like filet mignon with sweet potato with cinnamon and honey butter and like some really well cooked broccoli like in olive oil. That would be like oh, with a side of sourdough bread.
Mm.
That would probably be the one.
Wow, you're speaking my language right now. I feel like this could have been a whole nother hour right now just on this food stuff
Oh, I
because
love I love me some good food.
I'm obsessed with just like also meat. So
Yep,
I
yep, yep.
love any kind of filet mignon. So dig it. Okay, perfect. Great. So now what is your favorite food on the road if that's the case? If you can't get that filet mignon.
So I was actually just telling this to a friend yesterday that like when I'm in a pinch, something I can get at both airports and most gas stations are like those perfect bars. Have you seen those?
I don't know.
I love them. They're like in the refrigerated section, and I love like the peanut butter dark chocolate
Oh,
perfect bars. So they're great to get in a pinch. Also, I mean Chipotle. I love to do while I'm on the road. Oh, actually, no. Here's number one: egg bites from Starbucks.
that's what I do. That's
Egg bites from
wild.
Starbucks is the number
Yep.
one because obviously Starbucks are everywhere. So when I'm traveling, I'm just like, man, I don't want to eat bad, but I just want just eggs and cheese, bacon.
The
Perfect.
bacon egg bites are my go-to when
Those are mine
I'm
too.
traveling or going to the airports because I don't want to eat all that like filler food like because we talked about our terrible guts, I guess. But
Yep. Yep.
like I don't want to like ruin my body because I have a lot of autoimmune stuff. So
Yeah.
I literally it's probably the closest to clean that you can have are the bacon egg bites from
Oh yeah.
Starbucks.
Completely agree. Those are my number one as I'm
That's
traveling
so
food.
funny. And the fact that you said Chipotle too, if my boyfriend was here, he'd lose his mind because just had
He loves
Chipotle
it.
last night. I made him a full-on dinner, a salmon dinner with like what did it, porcini, risotto, like
Oh
really
man,
nice. And then he
I
was like,
love
I'm so
risotto.
hungry. So he ordered Chipotle after. I'm like,
Good man.
yeah, I guess so. I'll tell him that. Okay, so here we go. Pre-game pump-up song.
Oh, that's a great question. You
Yeah.
know who I'm loving right now is an incredible artist named Forrest Frank,
Ah,
and he,
I
you
love
know,
him.
oh, love Forrest. He's awesome. And so probably the song "Never Get Used to
I
This,"
love it.
or with Jake,
Um,
who I love Jake as well as an artist. And then what's the other song? No,
Up.
"Ups and Downs."
Okay,
I
upside.
love Up as well. Up is
Yeah.
great. His new stuff he just came out with is fantastic too. Like God's Got My Back and The Rock. Just some he everything he puts out is just amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Just
it's just like uplifting. Like I love the beats. Like he
yep,
collabs with a lot of awesome people.
yep. And did you see his story? Like literally broke his back, like on a skateboard,
Get out.
and like got and like showed all the MRIs on and X-rays on social media. People from around the world started praying for him. Went back to the doctor. He's like, guys, I kid you not. Within a week and a half, 2 weeks, my back's completely healed. Here's the scan, no break. Like was
That's
literal miracle. And so
insane.
that's when he wrote the song "God's Got My Back," which is just so funny.
A little play on words there.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a goal for the podcast. I actually had another singer, Jason David, on
Okay.
recently, and
Uh-huh.
he has a song. You'll probably love it. I'll have to send it to you. It's
Yeah,
called "You
please.
Are Good," and it's just about his journey. He's a two-time cancer survivor. He's a pastor's son kind of thing too, as well. I'm just making sure I say it right because I'm not really good with terms.
Yeah, yeah. All good.
But
No
no, but
judgment.
it's great. And like he lost his tongue and he's still singing. Like wild.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that
So
is
that
so
podcast is
wild.
out now, so you can listen.
That's so cool.
But yeah, so I'll send that to you. But I love Forrest Frank. He's a goal for the podcast for sure.
He'd be a great one.
Um, so another question, dream stadium you would want to play in.
Oh man. Um, probably Barcelona stadium because they're my favorite team. Would be number one. Oh gosh, I'm probably going to butcher this, so forgive me,
So
soccer fans.
everything.
But the Maracanã in Brazil, which is like the super famous Brazilian pitch and stadium, would probably be number one, number two.
Wow, that's amazing. So would that be also like your dream World Cup hosting country? Like if you were like when you go to the World Cup, would that be
I mean, gosh, doing it in my home country would, in 2026 would be the coolest. But if I had a second, it would be Brazil for sure.
okay? All
Yeah.
right. It's funny too because I feel like we both have a similar goal right now for 2026 because I love Italy and the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics are in Italy.
Yeah, that's right.
And I applied and I am now on reserve, so I'm waiting to get placed officially. So I'm like, please.
Oh, that would be incredible.
Yeah, so like that's my 2026 goal because it's like you think Olympics, like you said, like this stuff is like a stage for everyone. The world watches all these kinds of sports. So
Right.
to be a part of something so big is just like to show that that's possible for like for instance little old me that came from Little Falls, New Jersey type thing. You know what I mean? So I feel that for sure. And then very, very fast round, overtime thriller or blowout win.
Overtime thriller
Okay, yeah,
for sure. You got all the pressure, all the emotion, like that moment. Oh yeah, for sure.
early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Early
Big
bird,
time.
yeah. We established that.
Yep. After 8 p.m., I'm a zombie.
See, I'm an early bird and a night owl, so I just don't sleep. It's
Oh
terrible.
my, yeah.
Do not
Hopefully you take
recommend.
naps.
Yeah, I don't even take naps. I hate naps, so it's just I have no sleep. Pancakes or waffles?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with pancakes.
Okay, dig it. Or
Yep.
coffee or tea?
Coffee all day.
Dig
Love me some coffee. I'm
it.
I'm 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 more of like a coffee snob. So like I do our Chemex every morning and get really good beans. So big time coffee.
All right, cool. So, what's next? You're just World Cup, we're getting to that, and after the World Cup, what are you doing?
Yeah, I
Mom?
think a couple things for what's next. Um, first, I've been talking with a couple different agencies who have just been super helpful to help with teams and contracts and brands. And so, there's nothing more powerful in the world than a story. Not
Yeah.
just my story, but like in any industry is story. And so, there's nothing that's going to be better for what's happening in my story than making, the highest teams I can make. And so I currently play for the Empire Strikers Pro Indoor team and have just had the best experience with them from the owners, the coaches, the community, the players, the team. So we'll see if I end up going back there this season, but I'm also open to, trying to make the highest league I can possibly so that selection for the World Cup can even be an option. And so I'm fighting for that, training hard every day, of course, but like in the middle right now of trying to take a leap to the highest, division I can, whether in the U.S. or somewhere else. After the World Cup, again, from the beginning, World Cup or no World Cup was just like goal A, right? It's not the
Yeah.
all. It's not what started this journey for me. Starting the journey was for becoming the best dad, father, everything that I can. And so one thing I've really grown to love and to be passionate about on this journey is to create access for kids who can't afford soccer or clubs. American soccer in the youth level, I think, needs a lot of reform. There's a lot of good in it and a lot of amazing people, but most people would agree that the system's inherently broken. And so I don't want to say I want to be the solution, but I want to help be part of the solution with the other people within the system that really care about it. And so we're actually working on something pretty cool right now that is hopefully going to be able to involve as many people across the country as possible to all be a part of this solution to help create access for kids and the most underserved places in our country. And so if I could even make any type of dent in that at all for the future generations of soccer, that would just be a dream come true for me.
That's amazing. I mean, that those are some fantastic goals. So, and I believe that you're going to accomplish all of them, just by hearing what you're saying and your mindset. It's awesome. So, I
Thank you.
really appreciate it. Yeah, no, thank you for joining and talking to me. I was really excited when I saw you on Instagram, and I was like, I need to talk to this guy. So, that's awesome. I mean, so obviously, if anyone wants to get in contact with you or follow you, it's at World Cup Dad. Is there any other places that they should know about?
Yeah, I would direct people towards my YouTube. We're really going to start trying to do some more long form content, and shorts, and so trying to push more into that space. So really, I would say YouTube and Instagram, main places to connect. I have my email on my Instagram if anyone wants to reach out. I do my best to respond to DMs. It's getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
And then TikTok, I think I'm going to make that space more for like the different products that I'm using along the way that have been really helpful for me to be more of like a informational place. So if people want to know, okay, like what supplements am I using, what products am I using, what am I using for recovery, for training, etc., that'll be a great place to go and just like discover more of those nuances of my journey too.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, I'll put it all in the description, obviously. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Dana. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for spending this time with me. Seriously, it means the world. If today made you smile, think, or feel a little more connected, go ahead and follow the show, share it with someone who needs it, and don't be a stranger. Come hang out on Instagram with me at Dana M. Schaefer. Until next time.